smoke, State 1 and the fans are going wild. Deputy Ewers, quick, call for backup.
Backup?
Yes, Deputy Quinn Ewers.
We don't need any backup, I got this.
If you're a college sports fan, you might have noticed a lot of recent commercials featuring college athletes when you hadn't before. It's not your imagination. There are now thousands of college athletes promoting everything from sports drinks to sodas to sneakers. And it's all because of name, image, and likeness, or NIL.
Name, image, and likeness is legislation that came down in 2021 that allows student athletes to profit off their name, image, and likeness.
NIL has been probably the single biggest departure from the NCAA's old structure to where we currently are that's occurred in the history of college athletics.
Since its inception in 1905, amateurism has been a core tenet of the National Collegiate Athletic Association, or NCAA. Athletes could be awarded scholarships, but could not be paid to play. In 2014, former UCLA basketball star Ed O'Bannon led a class-action antitrust lawsuit against the NCAA, challenging the organization's use of the images and likenesses of former student athletes for commercial purposes. The courts sided with O'Bannon, and after years of appeals, the landscape of college athletics was forever changed.
In July of 2021, the NCAA changed their amateurism rules to permit student athletes to monetize their name, their image, or their likeness.
The different ways that they can do that, right, are through autographs. They can go to special events, but it is like a job.
With NIL, student athletes can now be compensated for promoting businesses or products on their social media pages. Previously, payments of any kind to student athletes were strictly prohibited. But now, the earning power of NIL deals is an important consideration for college athletes.
Well, it really is kind of the end-all be-all for recruiting. Where it used to be you talked development, education, culture, all of those things. Those things still matter, without question. But really, if you look at what the deciding factors are, what the separators are, you're looking at where do you stand in NIL compared to your competition.
The financial rewards can be very lucrative for some of NIL's highest earners. Colorado football's Shedeur Sanders has a 2024 NIL valuation of $5.1 million, while LSU gymnast Livy Dunn leads the way in women's collegiate sports with a $4 million valuation. Most NIL deals are just a fraction of those, however, and student athletes must be prepared to reach out to businesses independently to secure a partnership. SJSU senior Amaya Simmons has fully embraced NIL and the drive needed to succeed in the world of name, image, and likeness.
I think it's been very beneficial. I think it's very positive impact on student athletes and gives them an opportunity to just promote themselves and their brand and also work with other companies, which I really enjoy doing.
She's created some traction for herself in doing that, right? Just being willing to post, put herself out there, not being afraid to walk into the local boba shop and say, hey, you know, are you guys exercising or looking into NIL deals? I'm a student athlete at San Jose State, and so I think more than anything, it's been a go-getter, and she's done that.
So some companies I've worked with throughout the years would be Snickers, Oikos Yogurt, Moolah Kicks, Walgreens, Degree Deodorant.
Hey y'all, come with me to shop Degree Ultra Clear at Walgreens. First, I ordered Degree Ultra Clear online and picked up with less than 30 minutes with ordering on the app. I'm excited to be partnering with Degree. Degree Ultra Clear antiperspirant sticks and dry sprays deliver 72-hour sweat and odor protection with anti-white marks and yellow stain technology. Now with Degree, I can hoop confidently. Buckets!
While many smaller program athletes work to secure deals that may only pay hundreds of dollars, big money sports such as football and men's basketball take a different approach to name, image, and likeness. NIL collectives are groups of donors and alumni whose donations are used to pay student athletes. These collectives are independent and not affiliated with the schools, and their mission is to maximize revenue opportunities for student athletes.
When NIL was first put into play back in the summer of 2021, one of the stipulations was that the institution itself could not pay the student athlete for their NIL rights. So we decided to establish an arm's length LLC that became Blue and Gold and that serves as the companion here to oversee the NIL efforts of the institution. The restrictions are that there has to be a quid pro quo. So any NIL deal that we enter into with an athlete, there has to be a deliverable. For instance, here in October, we will give San Jose State athletes their monthly job, if you will. We've worked with the American Red Cross to have the athletes put out public service announcements surrounding hurricane relief.
From us here at San Jose State, like, we're never gonna have what Alabama has, right? Like, they have a different level of support, but what we're working on is unique ways here in Silicon Valley to provide opportunities for student athletes to come, not only to earn maybe some name, image, and likeness deals, but also on top of that, have internships at Fortune 500 companies that when they do finish their playing career, they have opportunities in the business world.
Another consideration for student athletes is the new transfer rules established by the NCAA. Students may now transfer to a new school and have immediate eligibility. While many student athletes seek a better academic, athletic, or personal fit, more and more transfers are seeking higher-paying NIL deals. Receiver Nick Nash entered the transfer portal to leave SJSU this past offseason, but was lured back for his senior year by the Blue and Gold Collective.
I decided to stay because, I love it here. I've made a home here. It helped having an NIL collective at San Jose State that was willing to pay me money, and in the position I was in, I was able to go to other schools and get a lot of money, but I wanted to stay here and I wanted the opportunity to be here, so it helped having the NIL collective.
The rise of NIL deals and donor-led collectives has changed how donations are distributed to a program. Where a donor once gave money to fund new uniforms or facilities, that money often now goes directly to players through the NIL collective, which can put a strain on some athletic programs.
Certainly, donors are having to choose of where they put their money. Do they put it with NIL? Do they put it with the university? Do they do it to scholarships or whatever it might be? And that's a real conundrum for a lot of donors. I sit down with our donors oftentimes and I just say, hey, here's how things work. This is what the scholarship looks like. This is what cost of attendance looks like. And this is where NIL fits in, and this is how NIL works. And there is a certain amount of education that goes with it that's really necessary, and to also explain how they're completely separate.
That's the hard part as administration. You're talking to these loyal donors and they're great, right? And it's like, okay, well, if you're gonna pull your $20,000 from donation to our budget, which helps scholarships, operations, right, nutrition, all these different areas where we need help, but we also need good student athletes and players. And so that's a fine line that you have to walk. But ultimately, it's really up to them. What are they most passionate about and how they want to help their school or their team succeed?
The landscape of college sports is changing, and it is a new world for all involved.
Whether you like NIL or not, and there are still some that have a problem kind of absorbing or embracing this system, this is the way forward. This is how all of Division I college athletics is going to look moving forward.
I think it makes it more of a business, kind of like the NFL, where people are getting paid a lot more to go to schools or leave schools.
There's no doubt there's a different spirit and a different level of thinking about it with NIL. And I think that's a good thing, right? It's a different society now. There's different ways to make money, especially through social media and through some of these other brands. And it's a whole different spending society nowadays.
NIL has definitely changed my life goals. I plan on going professionally overseas when I'm done with my college career, but also once I'm done with basketball, I know I have set myself up with building my platforms. I've definitely learned a lot through my experiences through college with NIL, and I feel like it's helped me grow as a person and not just an athlete on the court.
After winning the West Coast Conference Championship last year and reaching the NCAA National Tournament, SJSU men's water polo looked to build on their success this season with their sights set on a deep run in the NCAA tournament.
It's one of those things that once you win a championship, I think you want to do it again. You have that hunger, because it feels amazing. So we definitely have half of our team returning from last year to this year, and we relying on those guys to really integrate that culture to the incoming players and really show them the goal is to win another championship this year.
Going to NC2As, it was a lifelong dream for, I think, all of us. I never thought coming here I would be able to make the NC2As, and so that was the once-in-a-lifetime experience.
Competing in the NCAAs last year was definitely a step up, not only water polo-wise, not only skill level, but pressure as well. Pressure is a privilege, and through that experience, I think a lot of us have been able to get better and have our sights on getting there again.
Currently ranked 13th in the nation after another great regular season, the Spartans once again find themselves challenging for the WCC title.
I feel like this year's competition is so strong. Every single team in our conference is ranked in top 20 in the nation. We want to play games early on with really good teams like Cal and Davis and Santa Barbara, and then try to figure out what are the things we need to work on, so by the end of the season, when it really, really matters, we don't make those mistakes.
We had some really nice wins this year and some tough losses, but the good thing is through it all, I think we've just continued to learn and continuing to build off of that team culture that we built last year when we won WCC championship.
The team has a young core with massive potential to become one of the premier programs in the entire country.
Our goal is to be in the championship game again, and then we'll see. Championship games are different animals. You never know if you win or lose. It comes down to really small details, but we would like to be in it, so we have a chance to maybe make it to the NCAAs again. We have the talent. I think hopefully it's going to come out by the end of the season, but we are, compared to other teams, we are probably the youngest team going into the championship this year, so it makes a big difference in college when you have that experience. So we just have to fire at all cylinders and play for each other, and hopefully the returning players that we experienced it last year kind of help the newbies get to the same level as we need to be.
For this season to be a success, I think once you're on top, it's hard not to say get there again. But with such a long season and, so many good teams, focusing on the end of the season isn't necessarily the right thing for us to do. So what would be a success is to keep building, to keep getting better, looking at our scores, looking at our skill in the pool, looking at how we're meshing as a team. If we just keep improving and building that culture that we've started, then I think that's a success.
A unique experience for the team this season will be a trip to the East Coast to play against some of the most historic water polo teams in the nation, which will include a sightseeing tour of Boston.
We play Harvard, Brown, Bucknell, and Navy there, and so I think all of them will be good matches. It's always hard to go back east just based off of refereeing's different there, they call the game differently, but also indoor pools is a huge difference for all of us. We're all super, super excited. Most of the guys have never been to Boston just based off of where they grew up, and so I think it will be another once-in-a-lifetime experience for all of us to do together.
We're going a day early just to adjust for the 3-hour difference. You're going to use our Friday to look around Harvard, so we're going to go check out the famous rowing race. We're going to check out some of the landmarks of Boston and Harvard in general, so it's going to be fun. I've been there once. I know most of the guys haven't been there yet, so it's going to be new for them, yeah.
The trip back east will be funded by a longtime donor of SJSU men's water polo. The team is always looking for similar support from alumni and donors to help keep them motivated and competitive.
One of our big donors offered us that if you want to go to the East Coast this year, he's willing to sponsor it, as long as we take everybody, and use that as an experience to build a team culture, build a camaraderie that will last forever. So he stepped up, and we're very thankful for him.
It's been amazing, having donors come forward and help support the program, allowing us to go experience Boston and learn about the US. And there's a lot of guys that are here who wouldn't have been able to be here and be playing, getting a degree, competing for a WCC championship without those donors providing scholarships. So, we're really grateful as a team.
SJSU Water Polo has many ways to become a donor and needs new, committed supporters to maintain team success and help realize the players' dreams.
There are links online on our website. They can find my email address if they want to reach out directly. That's one way to do it. They can always go to the Tower Foundation at San Jose State, but the best way to do it is either do it online or reach out directly to us. A lot of people don't understand, but we have the highest men's team GPA on campus. We have really smart players. All of them are majoring in really hard majors. The engineers, they're business students, they're kinesiology students. They are here for a dream to get a degree and play water polo at a really high level. And these donors are making it an option for them. So it's huge.
In head coach Ken Niumatalolo's inaugural season with San Jose State, the Spartans successfully marched into bowl eligibility for the third straight season. This marks the first time in nearly 30 years that San Jose State has made a bowl game 3 years in a row. Coach Niumatalolo has quickly ingratiated himself to his team and the SJSU community, leading to success on the field.
Coach a great dude, man. I mean, that's my guy. I be chopping it up with him sometimes on the side during practice and stuff like that, and he's a good dude. He's an actual head coach. He let his staff do their job and let us be who we are.
His thing is like family, you know, like family's like, we gotta, like no matter what, you know, if we're down, we're up, we gotta stay together as a team. That's what Coach Ken has been emphasizing this year.
I love it here. Love San Jose State, love our players, love the coaches and staff. You know, it's been an awesome experience. Love living here in San Jose. But I love coming to work every day. You know, I look forward to coming to work. It's not a chore, it's not a task. I love coming here. Proud of a lot of things that our players have done as we, you know, head into this back half of the season, and hopefully we can finish strong.
The landscape of college football has shifted in recent years, and coaches across the country have had to adapt to unusual circumstances surrounding NIL and the transfer portal. Coach Niumatalolo's experience and foundation of success has quickly made SJSU an attractive destination for student athletes.
It feels like home, you know. I was in Virginia, all the way in the East Coast, and, you know, being able to come back in the West Coast and, you know, be closer to my family it just felt right. It feels great here. The environment is great. The staff is great. The players are great. So I just felt like I fit in perfectly here.
I knew because of the portal, creating a roster was going to be unlike anything that I've been used to. I'm used to getting freshmen and developing them, and, you know, up to a senior. Recognize that this was kind of like free agency, that you'd acquire guys through the portal. And the teams and the programs and the coaching staff that were able to bring their team together as quickly as possible were the teams that are going to be successful.
As the roster continues to gel throughout the season, one longtime Spartan is putting together a historic year at the wide receiver position. Senior Nick Nash, empowered by offensive coordinator Craig Stutzman's spread and shred offense, leads the nation in nearly every receiving category and is a semi-finalist for the Bolitnikoff Award, given each year to the top receiver in college football.
His athleticism and his football smarts. He's a smart kid, and he was able to, you know, retain information pretty quickly and adapt to this new offense. And so he's been a guy that's been pretty adept at doing that. And I think the final piece for him, he's a competitor, man. I mean, this kid hates to lose, he hates to drop the ball. I mean, he's such a competitor, but he's been special.
You know, Coach Stutz was showing us a bunch of his stats from past years, and some of the receivers had over 1,000-yard seasons, and it's just exciting for me to see because, you know, the proof's in the pudding, you know. I'm excited to see what it really can do, but, you know, it's in the name, spread and shred. Let's go.
With the Spartans marching towards the end of the 2024 season and eventual bowl game, Coach Ken, his staff, and the players look to build on the groundwork they have laid and end the season on a high note.
Well, we got to take it game by game to be the best we can be, but it's just taking one game at a time and one practice at a time, one period at a time, one drill at a time, one rep at a time. Just focus on the fundamentals and become the best version of yourself so that we can, be the best version as a team.
I just want to see us take it day by day, be locked into the little things, and the preparation is going to take care of everything else. I see ourselves, being a great defense, a great offense. We have a great group, and, the sky's the limits.